Little boy discovered in shock that his mom, while his drunk dad was sound asleep, had covered the seatbelt buckle with glue. Then she buckled it right back up. Afterward, using the excuse that the alcohol smell was too strong, she deliberately opened the car's sunroof. At that point, the boy still had no idea his mom was setting up a fake scene of his dad's accidental death. When the car drove along a remote mountain road, the woman seized the chance, sharply turned the steering wheel, and headed straight into the lake below. Bone-chilling lake water flooded into the car in an instant. The woman screamed loudly, pretending to be terrified. The drunk husband woke up right away, ignoring his own safety. He tried to get his wife and son to escape through the sunroof, but when it came to himself, he found the seatbelt simply wouldn't unbuckle. At that moment, the woman swiftly swam to shore with their son. Once they were on land, the woman couldn't help bursting into laughter. The boy knelt on the ground, begging his mom to save his dad, but the woman yanked her hand away from the boy and took out a remote to close the sunroof. Seeing that, the husband instantly broke down. Even if the seatbelt came undone at that moment, the cabin was already filled with lake water, all electronics completely dead, and neither doors nor windows would open. Just as the man was in utter despair, his wife turned around and came back. To his surprise, she merely pretended to pull on the door handle. She had returned only to make sure her husband was dead inside the car, and this was not the first husband she had murdered. Her real goal was to kill her husband so she could take all his property for herself. Her first victim was a 50-year-old man. Every evening after her husband got off work, she would put sleeping pills in his tea. Once he fell asleep, she would secretly inject him with a drug that blinded him until he lost his sight. Later, under the pretense of a weekend trip, she took him hiking. When they reached the edge of a steep cliff, she pretended to make an excuse to take a commemorative photo with him. Then, while he wasn't paying attention, shoved him deep off the cliff. The woman got her hands on her husband's property as she wished. Because she was a grade school teacher, the police didn't suspect anything. That discovery showed her a shortcut to easy money. When her funds were running low, she set her sights on a student's parent, her second husband, the one who would drown. On the funeral day, the woman shed fake tears, but only the mother-in-law knew her son's death had to be linked to the woman. Facing the mother-in-law's scolding and hitting, the woman didn't resist at all, instead acting pitiful and promising she would raise the boy herself. Everyone present was fooled by the stepmother's acting, but the next day, the woman actually sued her mother-in-law in court, falsely claiming that while she was away, the mother-in-law had secretly taken the boy. The old lady never expected the killer to act so brazenly. In a burst of emotion, she lost control and publicly accused the judge of not serving the people, even going over and starting to hit her daughter-in-law. That loss of composure only made the daughter-in-law seem more innocent. But just when everyone thought the outcome was settled, the mother-in-law carelessly mentioned that her daughter-in-law's ex-husband had died suddenly in mysterious circumstances, and now her own son had drowned for no reason. All of this must be connected to the woman somehow. That made the naturally suspicious judge instantly doubtful, and the judge's identity was far from ordinary. Strictly speaking, she wasn't human. Her true identity was actually a demon judge from hell. She had once made a major mistake during a trial in hell, so she was punished by being sent to live among humans. She had to personally sentence 10 especially wicked criminals within a year, or she would suffer a fate worse than those evil people. So she wrote the woman's name in front of a mirror, and with a special ability, glimpsed all the woman's secrets. Only then did she realize the woman really had killed both her husbands, and was now setting her sights on her stepson. Not drowning the boy at the time was to clear her own suspicion, because the husband's insurance payout was, by rule, split half with the son. To get that money, she had to keep the boy under her control first, then find a chance to kill him and take the whole sum. But the woman didn't know that while she was secretly tampering with her husband's seatbelt, the man had witnessed the whole thing. Still, the woman seemed to sense it, so she began threatening the boy. If he revealed what happened, the next person to suffer would be his grandma. Fortunately, that day, missing her grandson, the grandma quietly took the boy back to the countryside while the woman was out. Fearing exposure, the woman then sued her mother-in-law in court, hoping to use the law to gain custody of the boy. Unexpectedly, at the trial she faced a hell judge. After learning the details, the judge ruled that because the child willingly chose to live with his grandma, the grandma would receive a suspended sentence. As for future custody arrangements, the mother-in-law and daughter-in-law would need to resolve it themselves. For now, the boy remained in the grandma's care, so the woman went to the house herself to demand the child, but the grandma firmly stated she